Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. As you can see, I have a bunch of books. Today I'm going to be showing you my October 2024 completed pages. And it absolutely is blowing my mind that 2024 is almost over and that I cannot believe how fast this month has gone. My trip to Italy went really well. I was there for 2 weeks and I had a good time. It just didn't kind of turn out the way I had expected it to. The weather was awful. It rained and was cloudy almost every single day. So that kind of put a damper on the trip, but can't control that. So I did the best I could. I went around and I tried doing some art, but I didn't do as much as I wanted. But I did get quite a few coloring pages done. I think like one more than I normally do. But let me get these books off of the table. I'll quickly go over some stats. I don't track very many, so that'll only take like a second. And then we'll get into the PDFs and the books that I worked on in October. So give me a minute and I'll be right back. Okay, let's quickly go over my stats. So for October 2024, I started with 482 subscribers and I ended up with 531. So I got an additional 49 YouTube subscribers. Yay, thank you so much. And on Instagram, I had 835. I went up 24 to equal 859 at the end of October. So I'm really thrilled at both of these. I hit my 500 mark, which I'm really thrilled about. Now my next goal is going to be to hit 1,000 by, I think, the end of April. So that's a lot of subscribers because the subscribers are kind of coming in slower now. In the beginning, they were so you got like 100, a week. Oh, sorry, 100 a month. And now I'm, less than half of that. As I mentioned, I'm really trying to get to 1,000. So anything you guys can do to help me with that by hitting that subscribe button, I would really appreciate it. Okay. I really thank you so much. Yeah, I didn't write down my completed pages, but I think I'm up to 11. So I'll count them and just add that at the end. And from untouched books, I only worked on one untouched book. Otherwise, it is all books that I've worked on before. I had actually 5 buddy colors this month, which was really fun. I enjoyed getting to know some new people. And that was like fantastic to just communicate and at the end see how different our pages were. So I worked on one group buddy color, which is Spooky from Christina's Art Corner. I worked with Christina and Bubble of Coloring on Drum and Vanger. I think that is going to be like a group buddy color with the 3 of us so far. I worked on Hannah Lynn page with Winter Colors, Wildflower Folk with Kathy Landis. I thought I was doing Mouse Guard with Maya, but she reminded me that it's for November. So thank God, because I was really rushing it to try to get it through October. So now I can take my time and finish the other half. Thanks, Maya. And then Sapphire Colors and I did another page in Garden Lady. And hopefully we're doing one in November as well. So thank you guys. It was awesome to work with each one of you. So I'll show you their pages when I get to the particular book. Okay? So let me move this to the side and start with our first book. Okay. The first book is the Buddy Color with Sapphire Colors. It is from Garden Lady by Lana Green. This is an awesome book and it's so much fun. This time I went slightly different than the original. Obviously I didn't put the background in. I made her, like some of the flowers are a different color and some of these fruits. I can't remember what they were. They're not olives, because I thought they were, but they might be gobi berries. I'm not really too sure, but it's a fruit. And then I went with slightly different colors on the dress. Now, for most of these, I was in Italy, so I only had my polychromos pencil. So most of what you're going to see this month is going to be with polychromos pencils. And I also had gel pens with me and various gel pens. So you'll see that I kind of worked on the black lines a little bit. But this was a beautiful, beautiful page. I mean, everything in this book is absolutely stunning. So you can't go wrong if you're trying anything here. And this is so fantastic if you're trying to get into portraits, because you have a guide on the side if you want to use that. So far, I have been going extremely close to what the artist has done, but you'll see my buddy did something so completely awesome. I mean, it is amazing what she did. So I am going to put that here right now on the side. So you can see she did more of a Day of the Dead kind of look, and it is spectacular. But I love them both. They both came out really well. So thank you so much for buddy coloring with me and the fantastic inspiration there. So that is my first image from Garden Lady by Lana Green. The next image is also a buddy color, or was a buddy color, with winter colors, and we decided to do this page. And you will see in a second that hers is a little different from mine. They're both absolutely stunning, but I'll show you her image right here, right now. So she went a little bit more natural than I did. I don't know, this is the second image I did this month with purple hair. So I seem to be in the purple hair mode. I have no idea why, but I just felt like doing it and really loved the way the hair came out. I used all of my polychromos pencils. There is the gel pen here and there, like the white. I tried to do some of the lines, but got bored really quickly, so didn't finish it. But otherwise, it's just mostly polychromos pencils and some, I think, oh, and alcohol markers. I did bring my Ohuhu alcohol markers with me, not all of them, obviously, because there's always a weight limit on what you can carry in your luggage. And I didn't read a subscriber's email in time saying that they might explode with the pressure change. And some of them leaked. They didn't exactly explode, but they certainly leaked out and onto the barrel of the pen. But so far they're working. It might be that they're going to run out of ink faster. Unfortunately, I didn't read it till after I was in Italy. But live and learn, I guess, right? I don't know. But so I did alcohol marker base and then used the polychromos on top, as well as the various gel pens. So that is from Enchanted Faces by Hannah Lynn, and that was a buddy color. The next page is the untouched book that I mentioned during the stats. I just received this book in October, and it is actually quite lovely. I did my first page in here, and I did this rabbit page, and I really like the way it came out. Unfortunately, my black Posca marker started running out, So when I buy a new one, I think I'm going to go over it again just to make it a little blacker, because in spots you could definitely see the grain of the pencil, or sorry, the grain that the marker is leaving on the page. So I think I just used my polychromos pencils, and you probably can't see that I used the Jelly Roll glaze, so it has like a raised bump. I used various other, like a white gel pen in spots. I think that's all I used. Yeah, is the Jelly Roll glaze. And then my white, oh no, I did use some other gel pens as well. But I really like the way the paper felt. I heard other people say that polychromos aren't doing really well on this paper. I didn't have any trouble at all with it. Like I said, it was the only pencil I had. And I don't know, it worked pretty well to me. I mean, I blended as well as I normally blend. I think it came out pretty well. It did have some accidents. Like with my, you could see with my Posca pen, I kind of went over some of the image, but that's okay. I don't think you could, I might be able to scratch it out a little bit. I like the way the black background makes the keyhole really pop. So that is my image from Fairy Tales and Folklore by Emily Lederhall Oberg. The next book I worked in is a group buddy color with Coloring Bumblebee, and I forgot to put it in my buddy color, so I'll add that. So I actually had 6 buddies this month. Okay, and Jess selects a page every month, and last month was my first one. That was this. I did not realize that there was a double set. So I started in the back accidentally, but I'm going to keep going with the ones in the back. They just have lighter lines than the front. The front is black, and this just looks like it's a more grayed version. I haven't really looked deeply into it, but the 2 pages I didn't have any differences. So this is the page I did for October 2024. Again, it's something that Jess selects every month. She picks a page, and then we all color it. And with this, I again used some alcohol markers to base practically the whole thing, actually. And I used my polychromos pencils on top. I really like the way they worked on this paper. I think this is Amazon paper or close to it. It's really, really thin, but the pencils worked really well on it. And maybe I just need to do a base of something like alcohol markers if it is on Amazon paper, because the polychromos pencils worked pretty well on top of the alcohol marker. I really like the way my trees came out. I did white out the lines up on the top in some of the spots where it was kind of really light, and I left them on the bottom or in spots that it was really dark. I think it looked okay, so I kind of liked the way it looked. When I tried to use the darker color, you couldn't see these little squiggles at all, as if they didn't exist. So I didn't like that much, so I'm gonna leave it the way I have it. And it was a really fun page to color. It went pretty quickly. Not as quick as I thought it was going to go. I thought I would be able to do most of it with alcohol marker, but my shading is still awful with the alcohol marker. So it's not something that really worked for me anyway. I know I've seen a lot of people, like Amanda Colors does amazing work with just her alcohol markers. I haven't been able to get there yet, but I'm working on it. So everything else, like I said, alcohol marker, polychromos pencils, and again, I used the Jelly Roll glaze in spots, like for this little snail and the bumps on the purple mushrooms. yeah, on the white as well, it feels really lumpy. So that's it. I think it came out really cute, and I'm looking forward to doing November's page. Don't know what it is yet, but it's a fun book. So that is from Mini Mania 1 by Gabby Wolf. The next book is Wildflower Folk by Christine Karen, and this was also a buddy color, and I did this with Kathy Landis. This is like the second one. She's so fun to work with. So if I don't think she has a YouTube channel, so if you want to go check her out on Instagram, she has a lot of nice work. But this is the page that we did. We did Dark Eyes for October 2024. Now, again, you could see that my Posca marker was really wearing out on this page. So this one I'm definitely going to have to go back to when I get a new thick Posca marker. Now, I did not intend for it to be a black background, actually. I was hoping to make it like dark and then spread out into lighter and lighter grays. And it just looked so awful. And I did that with watercolor. I did have a small set of watercolors with me. I don't know why it didn't work out, honestly. It just looked awful. So I ended up having to just black out the entire background and kind of change the way I was looking at the trees. So this seems to be common, that a lot of us are using the either jelly roll glaze on the shirt or some kind of black to make it look like it's a lace shirt. And I think it came out really well. I like the way it looks. Actually, I think the whole thing came out pretty well, considering I didn't like the background that I made. But it is all polychromos pencils with a few spots like the jelly roll glaze, and then I used some like metallic jelly roll on top of the colored pencil here, and even on her lips a little bit. I don't think you'll see it. It usually doesn't come out like really well when I'm showing it on camera, but it looks okay in person. The metallic on top of it, even the lips, kind of looks like a lip gloss instead of a lipstick. And then I just kind of grayed out different spots on the tree, on the branches, and I added a little bit of purple and gray onto the ravens. But otherwise, all polychromos pencils and some gel pen. And Posca marker, sorry. So that is my, oh, sorry. Now I will show you Kathy's right there. As you can see, she did a beautiful job like she always does. We kind of did the same thing as I mentioned on the blouse. So I think we did the same on the shirt, but otherwise it came out quite different, but I love them both. And that's what we did for our buddy color in Wildflower Folk by Christine Karen. Next up, I have Vanger by Tomislav Tomic. I reached out to Christina from Christina's Art Corner because in her video, she mentioned that she and Bubble of Coloring are trying to do a double page spread in this book sort of every month. And I would love to work on this book more. I'm actually quite intimidated by the book. So when I saw in her video that she and Bubble of Coloring are working on it, I thought, you know, let me glom on to that. And they were really nice about it and said I could join their group. So we are going to be working on this, but I did not finish the double page spread. I only worked on the one page. This is the corresponding page that I'm not matching. I ended up not really loving this purple color on the end, but I am trying to bring in like some of the colors like the blues, and I'm going to try to bring some pink in to the image. Like this is more red, but this is a whip that I hope to be working on. I don't know about November because they're going to pick a double page spread. And as you could see, this book is so detailed. I don't think I could finish a double page spread plus this whip. So it's going to be a whip, I think, for a little while because this is an amazing challenge. But, these pages look so fantastic when they're done that to have some double page spreads on here would be amazing. Like, I would love to work on this one, but again, I'm intimidated. So we'll see. But I'm glad that I'm in the group. I do like the way this page came out for the most part. My colors didn't quite work out the way I thought they were going to. Yeah, so I changed it a few times and you could kind of see it that the ochre color is not as bright here as it is here. And that's because I had gone with this turquoise, and then I thought turquoise and pink would come out nice, and it just did not look good at all. So I had to try to erase it all, and then I did the ochre on top, but it did dull because I couldn't get all of the aqua color out. So it did dull the ochre a little bit, but it's fine. I think it came out pretty good considering it's such a detailed page. I mean, geez, it took me forever. Even using watercolor for the background, it just seemed to take so long to do all of this detail in the building. But again, I like the way it came out. I think that it's going to look amazing when I start filling this book up. So thank you both, ladies, and I look forward to doing November's page. So that is from Drum and Vanger by Tomislav Tomic. The next book is also a group buddy color by Christina's Art Corner. She picks a page every month, and we all color whatever the selected page is. I didn't join this group until I don't know how many months later, but it was several months after they had started. So while I was in Italy and I had this book, I figured, and it's single-sided, so I could use alcohol marker if I wanted to. I thought, let me try to catch up. So I have done quite a few pages in here. Let me see if I know which one October was. That was August. All right. I think this is, I don't know. So I'm just going to go over all of them and I'll let you know which one October was. This might have been the real October page, actually. And I used my gel pens to lighten up the lines. I did use alcohol marker to base most, yeah. There's just a few spots that I didn't use it in. I think that in these, I wanted to make the leaves a little fancier, and I didn't think I could do that with alcohol marker. So I left it blank, and I just used pencil in here. So all of the pencil, again, I was in Italy, so it was all polychromos, and I used only gel pen. I didn't have my Art X paint markers with me, so I just used the gel pen to lighten some of the black lines. As you could see, you could kind of really see the black lines still, but it doesn't cover as well as the acrylic markers, but I think it looks okay. So I'm gonna leave it as is, honestly. I do like my cat. This is the first time I didn't do, or one of the first times I didn't do a gray or black cat. So I did kind of like this orange tabby, and I think it came out okay. Yeah, so I really, I like the way it came out overall. So again, I used mostly my Ohuhu alcohol markers, my polychromos pencils to do some shading, and gel pen to lighten up the lines. The next one I did, I'm writing October, but that's not when these pages originally came out. These are catch-ups, and I still have not caught up completely to where Christina is, but I'm happy that I got some extra ones done. In this one, I used alcohol marker for most of it. I used my polychromos to shade. I had a little bit of trouble with this cauldron and the fire. I think I kind of saved the cauldron. I think that looks okay. My flames, not so much. I think if I had had, more alcohol markers than I brought or paint pens, that I could have made this look a little bit better than it did. But overall, I'm still happy with the page. I decided not to put a background. I only added kind of like a floor to make it look like it wasn't floating. But otherwise, I left the walls blank. So that's the second one I did. Then I did this third one. Again, it's mostly, if not all, Ohuhu markers in this. I shaded just a little bit. I didn't use a lot of pencils in this page. I did use my gel pens to try to white out some of the black lines, but not all of them. I didn't have all of my gel pens either, so like I didn't have an aqua gel pen to try to get rid of the black lines here. I may go in this month and do that because I think the bottle looks more like a bottle when it doesn't have the black line on the edges. Then I started this page, and this is where I really noticed that, okay, my Posca marker is out. So I tossed it. Again, I have to go over this, and I will finish this page probably in November. So you'll see it again. It is a whip. I thought I did more, honestly, while I was in Italy, but I guess I didn't, just 4 pages. I thought I did 5 or 6, but yeah, no, 1. That was done, 2, 3, and this whip, 4. Yeah, so I did 3.5 pages in Spooky by Sarah Sedgwick, and this is a group buddy color with Christina's Art Corner. The last things I'm going to show you are a few PDFs that I worked on. I brought several, but I only worked on 3. Now, this first one, I scanned my RJ Hamson, and then I printed it on this Nina cardstock. Unfortunately, I did it on the wrong side. I printed the image on the rougher side so you could kind of see it. I used a lot of watercolor on this one, especially in the background. I used alcohol marker in some spots, and then the rest is polychromos pencils. I think there is some gel pen somewhere, I think like here on the bottle, but otherwise I didn't really use very much gel pen here. It's mostly watercolor, polychromos pencils, and alcohol ink. I like the way it came out. I think they're really cool. I like Sherlock Holmes, so I really wanted to do this page. And I think this is definitely a better way for me to do the RJ Hamson pages. Again, I'm going to try basing everything with alcohol ink if I can. I can't remember at the moment if they're single-sided. If not, I might try this satin glazing liquid before I color. I did it with Coloring with Your Octopus. There I did a lot of watercolor, so it worked there. I don't know how well it works when you're using pencil or alcohol markers. So I'm going to give it a shot. Once I scan the image, I can print it 1,000 times. So yeah, I might give that a try too. But this is definitely a great way for me to work on RJ Hamson without whining constantly. It's just that I like to work in a book. I don't know why. I have no reason why it should make a difference working in a book versus working on this paper. But for some odd psychiatric reason, I do like working in the book and completing a book rather than having pages. Even if I put these pages in a portfolio, I still like working in a book. So just weirdness, I guess. So this is my first. This is from R.J. Hamson. Okay, totally blanking on which book, but if I remember to do it, which I doubt I will put it across the screen on which R.J. Hamson book this is. The next PDF is a freebie on Clara Markova's website. And I just wanted to bring some PDFs to work on because I only brought 5 books with me to Italy, and believe me, they were heavy. So I wanted to do some PDFs. And I think these will look really cute on packages at Christmas time. So I just worked mostly, I think, all alcohol marker. I'm not even too sure if there is any pencil. Oh, yeah. Well, no, that looks like alcohol marker. So, you know, it's mostly maybe a couple of spots I did pencil, but I think this is where I tried to shade with the alcohol markers. And I was lucky enough that I had alcohol markers in the colors I needed. Otherwise, I just did a little pencil. So I really like this. Again, this is a freebie that Clara Markova gives on her website if you want to go get a copy of it. And the last thing I'm going to show you, I absolutely adore. This is an image that I bought from Mariola Budd like over a year ago and never worked on, but she came out so pretty. I love the way she turned out. Now, I based the skin with the alcohol markers, and then I used my Polychromos pencils on top to do some shading. The hair is completely Polychromos pencils, and I love the way it came out, guys. I mean, I really, really love this page. I'm so proud of it. I like the way I chose to do some of the flowers in color as a tattoo, but left this tattoo more of a skin tone. I think the balance is really pretty. If I had made everything colorful, it might have looked like she was a clown. So I think that this kind of brought it back down a little bit. I also decided to leave her makeup very natural looking. Again, I didn't want her to look like a clown with all of this color. So I wanted the color to basically be the hair and everything a more natural color. But when I started doing the flowers or looking at the flowers, like leaving it skin tone and just shading it with the skin, I didn't like the way that looked. So I decided to make those tattoos in color. I did also add some color onto this skin tone one, just in, you know, very limited. But otherwise, I really love the way the hair turned out. This is one of the best I've ever done. But with this rainbow effect on the hair, this is kind of the first time I've done it pretty successfully. So guys, that is it for October. And that brought me to, I think, if I counted correctly, 11 pages. I usually do around 10. So I'm at my mark. And I'm really happy with the month of October. I will be doing a video for my November coloring plans. So you should see that up next. But I'm pretty excited about that as well. I don't always color seasonally. So I might, like this, I'm going to have some seasonal and some things that are totally have nothing to do with the fact that we're getting close to the holidays. So thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I would also appreciate it if you could subscribe. As I mentioned, I'm trying to get to 1,000 and I really need your help, guys. So if you can hit that subscribe button, like, and anything else you can comment and anything else you can think of doing, I would appreciate anything. So thanks so much, guys, for tuning into the page. If you stayed this long, I really appreciate that you did. And I hope you all have a great month. So I'll see you guys in November, all right? Take care. Bye.